Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to this week's Sunday Reset. I am your breakthrough coach, Nando Rodriguez, and I am here to provide you 15 minutes of peer coaching in order to reset your mind. You guys ready? Yeah, I know you are. Today, I am talking to you about a very touchy subject. So some of you will probably even, clutch the pearls after you hear this podcast, or as it develops, right? So one of the things that I really want to get clear on is why you should stop going to your friends and have them solve your problems. Okay, how many of you already you're getting ready to tweet me, or getting ready to, clutch the pearls, or, and there really is a reason behind this. And it's that, our friends are there depending on how you have set up your circle of friends. Some of you have set up your circle of friends so niched and just bottom line, some of you don't even have friends, okay? You have acquaintances, and I hear it all the time. Well, my acquaintances, and I really don't have friends. And really, when I hear someone say that they don't have friends, it's really that they've built all these walls up, right? Or they have all these stipulations and rules of you can be my friend if, and there's all these conditions, The beautiful part about it is that some of you don't even realize that you have these conditions, you have these guidelines. And it's really not fair to the people out there because you don't present them, right? So if somebody happens to run into you, you guys meet, at a museum event or something, and you start clicking or what have you, you don't know my friend rules, they don't know your friend rules, and then when you cross a line or a boundary that they're not aware of, you cross them off your list, right? That's another topic for another podcast. This one is all about the friends that you do have and the friends that come to you for advice. And really it's about you going to your friends for advice and why you should actually stop doing that. And I'm going to break it down for you right here. There's 3 reasons why you should stop going to your friends for advice. First one is your friends adore you. Your friends love you. Your friends will sometimes have the same blind spots that you do. Example, so I had a friend who constantly would call me up and tell me things about her husband, right? And it was he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that. And it sounded great in terms of oh, you should leave him, or you should, talk to him, and you should do this and you should do that. But instead, what I would do is, because I cared for her deeply, I would just listen to her. And that's what a friend does, right? But at the end of the day, it was it left her shallow and empty. And actually, by me just listening, and sometimes that's what a person needs, right? But if they're really looking to make change, if they're really coming to you with an actual problem, my boss just did this, what should I do? You might not be the person equipped to handle that, right? And so when you go to your friends to help you with an issue, with a problem, because they love you so much, they just may offer an ear for you, but they won't actually solve anything for you. And it leaves you blaming them for you not getting your problems fixed or corrected or whatever it is. So really it's it's not a win-win situation. It's a lose-lose, because they feel put on the spot, what do I say to you? And then you feel well, that didn't help any, And sometimes it's just those little things right there that actually affect your friendship. So when you're going to your friends, just know who the friend is that you're talking to and what they provide in the friendship, right? So if you have a friend that is all about listening and just loving on you, then maybe that's what you need at the moment. So call that friend up. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But if you're really looking to solve an issue or get something, be put in action, and you call your I love you friend, that's putting them in a tough situation, because all they're going to do is love you. That's what they do, right? So that's point number 1. right? Really take a look at your friendships and what they provide for you and just like value them for that. But that might not be the person that you go to help get your problem solved. Number 2, why you should not go to your friends is you actually put them in a hard spot. You put them in a hard spot because maybe they do have that same issue with you, right? You call them up and you're just like, my boss doesn't understand me and da-da-da-da-da. And they're so dying to say, yeah, but you're so hard to talk to. You jump to conclusions. Like you da-da-da-da-da. And so for fear that you will retaliate, they won't tell you anything. So you put them in a hard spot, you know? And that's another reason to not go to your friends with particular problems. Because again, they're your friends, they're your friends for a reason. And they probably just like want to love on you and want to embrace you and want to like just make it better for you. They're not going to sit there and tell you, well, you know, because you might be the type of person that can't take the feedback. If you can't take the feedback, then, you know, you really should stop going to people and asking them, what do you think I should do? Especially your friends, and especially the I love you friends, right? And the bigger thing here is I want you to just take a step back and just really connect with, is this problem something that's happening in other areas of my life? You know, it could be something that you do in your friendships. It could be something that you do with your family, with your friends, right? Not just in your career. Or it could be something that you're doing in your everyday life that keeps you kind of trapped. And so when you go to your friend and you say, I'm having this issue, what do you think? You're putting them in a hard spot because they might be able to see it, or maybe they don't, but it's really putting a lot of pressure. And it comes down to, you know, having your friends be everything for you, you know? And it's sort of the same danger of having your spouse or your boyfriend or your wife be the everything for you. It's just not a good thing to do. It's really high expectations. And there's people out there that are wanting to help you. There's people out there that can truly point out some blind spots for you if you talk to them long enough. A breakthrough coach is an amazing person to talk to because I help people create breakthroughs. I help guide you through your breakthroughs so this isn't happening to you anymore. So that's not happening to you anymore. But when you go to your friends, like, it's really not the thing to do, you know? And I also have to say that, you know, one of the reasons that we go to our friends is because we're not really looking for change. We're not really looking to create that transformation that's really going to crack it open. We're not. Why? Because we're human, and the human brain is there to protect you. Your human brain is always, the radar is on, always detecting danger, you know? So it's so natural that you would go to your I love you friends for anything versus your other friends that you might have that are gonna tell it to you like it is. In fact, you might even avoid those type of friends, you know? You might even, you know, be like, that's the last person I call. Like, you're going through your list, no one's picking up, no one's answering, you're texting, no one's responding. You're still not gonna call that friend who's gonna tell it like it is, because they tell it like it is, right? You're not ready. And maybe it's different stages that you go through when you're going through an issue. First, you call your I love you friend so they can just pamper and love you and make you feel human and make you feel like, you know, you're not an evil dragon out in the world. But then when you're really ready to go and solve the problem or tackle the issue, it's not the I love you friend that you're gonna go to. And when you do go to that person, you're putting them in a spot because they don't know what to do except love you, right? So I want you to really like let that sink in. When you go to your I love you friends for, you know, whatever issue it is, are they really the ones that are prepared? Are they prepared to help you, right? You wouldn't go, if your shoes needs fixed, you wouldn't go to Burger King. They don't mess with shoes. They'll feed you a burger and send you on your way, right? So think about it. You know, you might also be avoiding the issue or the topic at hand when you go to your I love you friends. And it's okay, there's nothing wrong with that, but just be aware that you're gonna keep having the same issue over and over again until you have a breakthrough in it, right? The third reason that you don't want to go to your friends for advice or suggestions or tips and things like that is because they might not have the background for it. They don't have the experience for it. They don't have the know-how. So it's sort of like an inspirational quote, right? You read the inspirational quote and they say, the quote might be something like, you know, it's not how it's not the issue, it's how you react to the issue. And you're just like, oh yeah, that's right, you know, and you're so inspired, and then 5 minutes later, you're just like, what? You're back in the same spot. That's because that inspirational quote just provided a little bit of encouragement, but it didn't provide any strategy, or it didn't provide any steps. It didn't provide any real world solutions to how to tackle any problem that you're dealing with. And that's where speaking to somebody who this is all they do will give you strategies, will have you look at things from a different perspective. In fact, I was having a conversation with someone not too long ago where they said, I don't think coaches should make money because they're out there supposedly to help the world. Why should you make money with that? And I also think coaches are big scam artists, right? They're frauds. And you should just go to your friends. And really, that's where this podcast idea came from, because friends are amazing. You know, the person also said, you know, I think what the world needs is just more friends. And there's nothing wrong with having a ton of friends. Nothing wrong with it. And I think everyone should have a lot of friends. But the thing is that your friends aren't equipped, aren't educated, don't have the know-how to help you create those breakthroughs in your life. They're there to love you. They're there to support you. And also, what happens is if someone does tell you, oh, you know what, you are a big bully, or, you know, you do come across as you don't listen, then that's going to create a rift. And then now what you've done is, because you were already avoiding the problem by going to your I love you friends, what you've done now is now you've created another problem to avoid this problem. So now this becomes the main focus. You see how because remember, the brain is made to survive. So I don't want to handle this right here. So you go and create another problem, and then I'm going to focus on this instead. Meanwhile, this is still running in the background. You see how that works? And that's what we do in life, right? Instead of focusing on this, then you create a new problem, so then you can focus on that, and then you create another one so you can focus on that. Now you're twice removed from the actual issue. So what do? All there is to do is really just be so aware that your I love you friends are just that. They're there to support you. They're there to tell you that you're amazing, you're wonderful, you're perfect, because you are. But if you really are wanting to work on whatever it is, you know, failed relationships, why, you know, you feel like life is passing you by and you just can't grasp what to do, you know, or what your next career move is. A lot of times, you know, you need professionals that work specifically in that. You need professionals that work just on that to guide you, because this is what they do. So there's a wealth of information, there's a wealth of strategies, there's a wealth of action steps for you to take. And it's as simple as that. So if you really, really want to create transformation, want to create change and shift the mindset to get better results, it's all about the actions you're taking that are influenced by your mind, right?
60 seconds. Okay,
guys, I am so excited that you guys joined me. Please follow me on Twitter at NANDO'Ism. I'm on Instagram at NANDO'Ism. On Facebook, the NANDO'Ism Tribe. Look for me. I want to connect with you. Tweet me. Leave me messages on Instagram. I want to hear what you want the podcast to focus on next week. And until then, don't forget to reset your mind. Thanks for tuning in for this week's Sunday Reset, and I will see you next week. And as always, I'm here to make your life sexier.